Does the public really hate forward-facing sonar, or is the drama all made up? That's the topic we're going to discuss in this video. Hey guys, I'm Danny Pruitt, one of the owners of Fish North Georgia and host of our Live Well podcast that you can see here every Tuesday and Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Guys, we'd love for you to join us. It's interactive, it's live. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell so every time we go live, you can join in all the fun. If you guys are like me, you watch a lot of YouTube videos. Normally here at the shop, I've got them playing in the background as I work throughout the day. And for the most part, I just listen, take it in, what the guys are saying. But every once in a while, someone says something that makes me just stop and think. And that happened the other day. I was actually listening to one of Randy Blockett's videos. And again, guys, we know his stance on forward-facing sonar. So I'm not here to debate whether he's right or wrong on that. But he said something really interesting. I'm going to let you watch a clip from the video, and to be fair, in the description, I'm going to link his entire video so that you can go back and watch it in its entirety. But he said this, and I want you guys to check it out.
Okay, here is the deal, what we're going to talk about here. I have realized on this whole battle that we're in the middle of with forward-facing sonar that you got probably 80% of the public that is against it. They're adamantly against the technology because they understand the reality of the situation and what it's doing to the sport on a lot of different levels, about 80%. And then you got maybe 80% in that range. I'd put it close to 80. Then you got maybe 5% of the people out there that they don't care one way or the other. It's like, fine if you want to use it, fine if you don't want to use it. And then you got probably another 5% of the people out there that are persuadable, and they listen to like a lot of the stuff that I've been trying to educate the public on regarding this, and they've changed their minds. I hear a lot of people message me and comment. They say, Randy, I thought you were full of it until I started listening to you, and then I'm on your side now. And then you have 10% of the people out there that they're not reachable with this. It reminds me a lot about politics. You have some people in politics that they are so far down a rabbit hole of misinformation that you can present them facts and evidence over and over again, and they still deny the reality of it. You tell them that the sun's out, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's that bright thing in the sky is the sun, and they'll say, no, that's the moon. Some people, and that's the way it is with forward-facing sonar, is you have 10% of the people out there that there's nothing that you can do to convince them otherwise because they don't want to hear it, because they have a worldview that they do not want to have challenged with this, because most of them that they can't catch this without it. They're connected fully by their umbilical cord with it.
All right, guys, so 80% of the public, that's what he feels, and that's what he has realized, is against forward-facing sonar. Now, when I heard that, it made me stop and think for a second, because I talk to the public all the time. General anglers, tournament anglers, you name it, they're coming in the shop, and that statistic right there, that percentage seemed really, really high to me. We got a pretty robust social media here at Fish North Georgia, and I'm always, monitoring it, and I really hear people occasionally speak out against forward-facing sonar, but definitely not 80%. So I wanted to put it to a test. And so here's what we did. We went to our Fish North Georgia group page, which has about 21,000 followers. And I put a poll out there. And I gave the followers, the viewers, 4 options. Option number 1, ban forward-facing sonar completely from the sport. Option number 2, ban it in tournaments only, but allow the general public to use it. Option 3, allow forward-facing sonar for everyone. No restrictions. And option 4, I just don't care. These are the people that don't care whether you use it or not. If you have it, use it. If you don't, fine. Whatever. They just don't care. And so given Randy's numbers, I think if that were the case, it should show here on this poll. Now, to also be fair, here in North Georgia, forward-facing sonar is pretty popular. We got a lot of clear highland reservoirs. Guys fish really deep over timber for spotted bass. But just to be fair and try not to skew the poll a little bit, I did share it to some extra groups just to get others' opinions. So I shared it to a group on Gunnersville, Lake Hartwell, Chickamauga, Seminole down in South Georgia, West Point down in South Georgia, and then, of course, you got Allatoona, Lanier, Carter's, Blue Ridge, those lakes in our area. Because one of the things I was thinking is, number one, where did Randy get this 80% number? Is it just people that he talks to in his circle or from his comment section? Because to me, that's kind of biased and skewed. If you're talking to Randy Blockett on on an occasional basis or a lot, you pretty much will probably think very similar to him. That would be my thoughts. Number two, if he did get this 80% number from something, was it surveys, a poll? Is there real data on paper with votes to give him this number? And then number three, could it possibly be a regional thing? I know he always talks about some of the lakes where he's at struggling. We don't have that problem here in Georgia. So, there are biases and, there are things that can skew, opinions. But I wanted to know if that's how he got his numbers. So we ran this poll here. And, guys, it was really, really shocking, the results. I want you to hear this. So at the time of this video, we had 1,267 votes. Now, I wanted to have a minimum of 1,000 votes, because if you've been watching the politics here lately, especially with the election, when they do a survey or a poll and you watch the fine print, it always says right around 1,000 people were called or whatever. And so I wanted to kind of set that as the threshold. Let's get at least 1,000 votes. So as of this video, 1,267. The largest group at 41% or 531 votes were those that said allow forward-facing sonar to everyone. 41% of the respondents said it's fine, use it in all applications. The second highest percentage group was to allow the general public to use it, but ban it in tournaments. And that was 31% or 391 votes. So you definitely can make an argument that there might be some public sentiment into banning it from tournaments. The third highest group, indifferent at 20% or 248 votes. And coming in a distant last, dead last, was to ban forward-facing sonar across the board for everyone. 8% or 97 votes. Now that's really shocking to me, because if Randy was close, if he was even close, that group right there, that 8%, should be well over 50%. If the public outcry was what it is, our poll should have at least showed that. Now, could you kind of skew it a little bit and take the indifferent crowd and add it to, say, the ones that want to ban it? Took that 20% and added it to the 8%, and come out here and make the statement, 28% of people would not mind if you banned forward-facing sonar. Yeah, you could do that, but that's a little disingenuous, because you can turn around and do the exact same thing with those that want to allow it. Take that 41% for those to allow it, add the 20 of the indifferent, and say 61% of people are for forward-facing sonar for everyone. We don't want to do that. So, here at Fish North Georgia, we try to play what we like to call Switzerland. We're a platform for all kinds of people. And on the podcast, I have those that are against it, those that are for it. I would say the majority are for it, because I talk to a lot of pros and a lot of guides and everything. But still, when you get on a video and you say 80% of the public is against forward-facing sonar, and they know all the damage it's doing, and then we put out a poll like this just to see if it's even close to being true, what are we supposed to take from that? When you talk about when Randy talked about the 10% of the people who are forward-facing sonar, he talked about politics and how the misinformation was out there. Check it out right here.
You have 10% of the people out there that are they're not reachable with this. It reminds me a lot about politics. You have some people in politics that they are so far down a rabbit hole of misinformation that you can present them facts and evidence over and over again, and they still deny the reality.
So I realize Randy's got a lot of strong feelings, okay? I really don't think he should be going around saying cheater box, umbilical cord, spotlighting, all that. I just think that's a little bit of a disservice. I think you win more with honey than you do with, insulting people. But whatever, that's what he chooses to do. But he's basically equated to those 10% being the misinformed. Okay, that's his words, not mine. But seeing a video where he says 80%, we do this and it's 8%. who really is giving out the misinformation. Now, if Randy has numbers to back what he's saying, that 80% of people, to the general public, not 80% of his friends or his followers, but if he can just put a poll out like that and prove that 80% of the public really truly believes that, that's one thing. But when you just get on and say, hey, you know, over the course of time, I've realized that 80% of people, that's kind of misinformation in and of itself. Take a first-time viewer to his channel. He says something like that. If they don't go do their own homework, they actually believe that. So we just kind of put it out to the people. And I also told them, hey, listen, I turned comments off. I don't want to hear what you think about it. I just want you to vote and vote honestly. And again, 41% are for forward-facing sonar, and only 8% of our respondents here in the Southeast want it banned across the board. So, guys, I want to know what you think. And again, I'm not trying to down Randy. I just want to know where he gets his numbers. I think he does a lot of good with his videos. I think he's got a lot of good information. We just realized that his views on forward-facing sonar are really, they are what they are. He's not going to change them, and I'm not here to try and change them. I just think when we see these videos on YouTube that come out with numbers and all that, every once in a while we should fact check it, or at least try to see if we can replicate the numbers in a similar way that we did here at Fish North Georgia. So guys, if you're watching, I want to know what you guys think. And again, this is more than just, is forward-facing sonar good, should it be banned, should it be legal? It's how we, as content creators in the fishing industry, how we're putting information out to the general public. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts on this. You can go to Fish North Georgia group and you can see the results for themselves. I'll put a link in the description as well. And again, hey, I'm not a clickbait video maker. There are guys that do that. Let's let them do that. We just love doing our podcast. But we're going to start kind of doing this, these type of videos occasionally. And again, it's just a fact check or to see if we can, you know, produce the same results. So I appreciate you watching this video. Again, like and subscribe. We appreciate you taking your time. And again, put it in the comment sections. What do you think? We'll see you on the next one.